it's gone.
What was it?
It was my morning coffee. My wife and I have a coffee shop. It's been open for almost 8 years. So it depends on the day what coffee, but there's a wide array.
I'm a big coffee lover too. You are super busy. I don't know how you're doing it all. Coffee, music, family. Oh, according to this list, faith. You're a Christian family.
There's a lot of everything.
What's the name of your coffee?
Our coffee house is called Meeting Grounds Coffee House. So my wife had a dream to open up a coffee shop. We had this conversation that if she was going to support my dreams, I would support hers.
That's awesome. What a beautiful story. Well, I'm going to have something a little bit stronger. Shiny apple cider. They're based out of
Ooh,
Niagara and they mix up their flavors for all the seasons. So this is maybe.
that sounds fantastic.
Let's do a cheers to the Homegrown Nights Tour.
Absolutely.
Back to Ontario. Cheers.
Cheers. And I'll just get the last little green.
We already kicked off the year with the Homegrown Night song, and that celebrates where you grew up, small town, faith, family. And in your media release, there was a beautiful that I just want to reiterate. And it talks about the nostalgia of bonfire sky full of Saskatchewan stars, the sound of local hometown team buzzer. That makes me think of the Northern Lights. I don't get to see them very often down here, but also you guys are hockey players. You guys love your hockey there. I think that is a great homage to that.
Yeah, thank you. It's one of those things where in country music, there's a lot of these phrases that people almost make fun of at times. It's like, oh yeah, it's bonfires and it's back roads. And the reality for us is that's real life every single day. Like the back road over here means so much because it's the space that you laugh on, that you cry on, that you worked hard on. Your blood, sweat, and tears are in those places and your memories are there and it just shapes who you are. So I think all of those things are kind of included in that song, but also in the wide scope of the tour as well.
With this tour, trying to get the image to come to life during the show, do you allow yourself to have improv moments or is everything like right down to the wire?
You have to be ready to pivot at all times. And being the front man of the group, a huge part of my responsibility is to read the room at the end of the day because one crowd is going to be very different from the next crowd. And they're quite frankly all going to be different every night. Well, there are rehearsed aspects of the show, but you always have to be ready for those moments where you're going to pivot. You don't know who's going to be in the audience. You don't know if somebody's having a birthday. You don't know if the crowd's going to be loud or quiet, if they want to, stand and dance, or if they want to sit back in a theater. So I think you always have to be ready for anything.
One of my questions here actually was, do any of your songs hit different when you play them live? And I'm going to answer my own question here because with different crowds, the song might hit different when you're with a different crowd, right?
100%.
Yeah. It here might mean something to you. It might mean something different to apparently a different audience in a different town.
Absolutely. And there's times where, like, let's say you're sharing something more personal before a song and you think of something that night that's a little bit different because it just hits you different that night. Sometimes there's those moments and you need to follow that to a degree. That's the interesting part about music and art and connection is it's meant to look different to a degree. So I think it's always unique, every experience that you're sharing with that group of people.
What vibes are you going to try to give out this run?
I actually sat down with one of the reps from the Calgary Stampede because we did the grandstand show there. She's a brilliant mind. And so her and I sat down and went, how could we bring this show to life in a way that really speaks to the essence of who we are? So we started breaking it down into a day in the life of the Hunter brothers. The scope of this tour depict different aspects of our life, but almost like you're going through a day in the life. And so it's got all these elements. And so then the guys and I sat down and we talked further about this concept and then new ideas came from it. And so the songs are woven into this overarching story of what it kind of looked like growing up for us.
Love that. Great. When you talk about day in the life, I'm also thinking here about day in the life of a musician on tour. So I went to a show last weekend and I'm thinking, what's the artist doing now? It's like, 4 o'clock and the show starts at 8. Are they sleeping? Are they eating or partying? Like, what are you doing? What's a typical day on tour like for you when you're not doing interviews and sound check?
It's a little bit like chaos. There's been times where the bus is broken down. And so you have issues that you're trying to resolve there. Sound check is commonly happening around that 3 to 4 o'clock time. And then you're trying to scramble for something to eat, depending on where you are and what's happening in the city that you're in. And then typically you have your meet and greets before the show. And that's kind of that lead up time. And then honestly, sometimes it's troubleshooting.
I know your brother's also a big Blue Jays fan. He made that very clear in the video.
Big time.
Some baseball watching too, I'm guessing.
He was losing his mind today. So him and I were in in an interview earlier on, and he showed me a picture of him and his family. I was like, we need to post that.
I want to touch on another interesting aspect for your show for our Ontario fans. In Saskatchewan, you had Shantea, who's on your song Better Days.
Yep.
You got Dana Reed coming here.
Yeah. So Dana is a fellow label mate. We wanted her to join along in the Homegrown Nights Tour. She's a wonderful person, beautiful singer, beautiful soul. And I think she fits in perfectly with the vibe of the tour. With Shantea doing the Western dates and her doing the Eastern dates, we figured that she could join in for that song as well and bring it to life.
So with adding a female aspect to it, was that the plan all along? I know Brad, it was mainly his song to begin with, right? And then he added...
Yeah, the way it unfolded was really neat because we were trying to figure out who we were going to bring on tour with us. And last time we brought Jake Vaterland, and he's Saskatchewan based. And that was super fun just because it felt like we were taking our home province on the road. And this year it worked out very similarly in that Shantea is from Saskatchewan. So we had met each other a long time ago. We knew that she was super talented. We thought, why don't we extend this tradition of bringing somebody from Saskatchewan on the road? And then Better Days was a song that we were wanting to record, and it just hit where we went, this would lend itself super well to a female voice and collaboration. So why not do it together? And then we can do it together on tour. So it all just kind of fell into place at the right time.
Awesome. Love that. So I want my audience to come on out, check you and your brothers out, and Dana Reed, November 7th in Chatham, November 9th in Picton. We didn't get the chance to talk about it, but you also have a new EP coming out on November 7th as well, All Kings of Country. So I want to give another cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Tiny. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, Alexa.